Hello, friends. This is Bela Vora with your next real estate update. Today is June 5, 2020. Today is the day when all of Pennsylvania goes yellow, and we're all able to do our in-person activities, but with a lot of social distancing and following the guidelines set forth for us. I anticipate a lot of showing activity in the real estate world now, and I thought today I would talk about showings. Unless you're ready to buy or sell, you may not have given a whole lot of thought to what happens behind the scenes when you want to request a showing. So let me start with how many showings. I would typically schedule only about five or a maximum of six showings in one tour, because anything more and your mind starts to blur and you won't remember the details of every home that you've visited. um, if you've done a good buyer agency consultation with your realtor before, you realize that you may not need to see that many homes because you're analyzing a lot of that stuff online anyway before you visit the home. So first thing that we do once we know which homes we're going to show is figure out what their geographic distances are and the location, the distances between the homes. So we anticipate the travel times and anticipate the amount of time that the client is going to spend in each home, and then we request those windows of showings with the seller's agent. We typically use a showing agency, an external showing agency, which does all of this work for us because that's the most efficient process, and the realtors pay for their service. What what I've been asked before is 45 minutes. What are you going to do in the house for 45 minutes? No, I'm not going to be in the house most likely for 45 minutes unless my buyers absolutely really really love the house and you have a really huge house. What I'm doing is I'm hedging my bets because I don't know exactly what my arrival time is going to be, because I don't know how long my client is going to spend in each home, and you may be the fourth home in my tour. Uh, Showing vacant properties is easy enough. We just request it online, we get a code, and we're okay to show it. But when the property is occupied by sellers, we need to coordinate this a little more with them. Some sellers require a little notice, few hours only. Some require an overnight notice. It may be that your children have nap times. It may be that you work from home and need to schedule this better. It may be that you need some time to clean up the home and make it look pretty and smell nice before you rush out and let the buyer get the best of experiences. So each seller has a different requirement, and we honor that and we try to obey, bear that in mind. In some cases, the dogs have to be kenneled. In some cases, we're trying not to let the cats out, and maybe even have security codes which we need to plug in so that we don't call the cops at the showings. Um, what It gets even more complicated when you have showings with COVID restrictions, because now we have some forms that need to be signed before we show up for the showings. We have to have our buyers answer some health screening questions, and we can't do overlapping showings. So, for example, in the past, when four agents could show the home at the same time, somebody's up down in the basement, somebody's up wandering in the bedrooms, and someone's out in the yard. We can't do that anymore. You're not allowed to have more than three people at the showing at the house at the same time. So even if it's a vacant property, we may not be able to schedule the showings when you want it, because it may be occupied, and the timing may be blocked. What complicates things further is that this is such a hot and crazy seller's market that the best homes that come on the market get actually sold within the first 2 3 days. So this is something that you have to bear in mind when you become a home buyer, because if you prefer to just see homes over the weekend, and if this listing comes on the market on a Tuesday, it may be sold by the time you're available to see it. It also makes sense that you have a full-time realtor who's ready to drop everything and run and do the showings for you, because if you have a part-time realtor who has other jobs, they may not be able to show it right away, and you may miss out on a dream home as a result of that. It also helps to have done a lot of the homework ahead of time, because there isn't a whole lot of time to think on these homes. Homes that are priced right, that are in a good location and show well and have a good condition, do tend to sell pretty quickly. So that kind of further complicates things as well. Just a little plug-in for your realtor. Just be mindful of their time and efforts as well, their working evenings and weekends, and try to match the clients' schedules, juggling multiple clients and their personal lives as they, make themselves available. Time is of the essence in a real estate transaction. So just be mindful of their time as well, is all I ask. And after this whole process is done, we are giving feedback on these showings. As a seller, you definitely want to know what the buyer thought of your home, any pluses, any minuses, anything we can do to encourage an offer. So we like to come back and give the feedback on each of those showings. So it helps that you discuss it with your agent, what you liked about the property, what you didn't like, and what you could have done differently maybe. So all of this is the whole process just to schedule showings for the homes when you're house hunting. That's it for today. Enjoy your weekend. It's Friday evening and it's lush greenery after all these lovely thunderstorms we've been seeing in the area. Hopefully, you have power at this point, and I will see you with my next update soon. Take care.